lot of you hanging on. Let's go right to the phone calls. First up, Matthew in Denver, Colorado, listening on the web. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, Hank. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
So I have a bit of a theological conundrum, and I really value your input. I really enjoy your show. I'll give you a little bit of background. I'll try to keep it brief, but my wife and I are wedding photographers, and for the last couple of years, we've kind of seen coming down the pike that we would, of course, have to deal with the issue of gay marriage. Thus far, we've just lied and said that we couldn't shoot the wedding, and that's out of fear, and we don't feel good about that, and we didn't want to continue to do that. But right now, well, we're kind of making the decision of what's the right way to approach it, and we feel like putting our foot down and just saying, no, we won't do it out of principle because we think homosexuality is a sin and we're deep Christians, et cetera. We feel like we don't know if that would be better or if we're just upfront with them and say, this is what we believe, and though we think homosexuality is a sin, we also believe in loving our neighbor, and we'll do our job the way we do it, and then praying with all our might that God would use us as his instrument to show the love of Jesus through doing that. And that's kind of what we're leaning towards, and we're convinced that our motivation is legitimate, that we want to work as Christ's vessels, and it's not out of fear or of lawsuit or for the money or anything like that. But at the same time, it's a really big decision about it, and we've been praying a lot, and I just value your input if there is a sound Christian way to do something like that.
Sure. Yeah, this is the very reason that we did a pro-con series in the Christian Research Journal. It's titled, Should Christians Attend Same-Sex Weddings? But the principles involved answer your question. Answer, I suppose, with two different perspectives. One is by Michael Ross, who would say yes, and Joe Dallas, who would say no. And they give their reasons, and these are two men that I highly esteem and admire. And so I think the two articles, the pro and the con articles in the one major article, I think will help you very, very much in making a decision in a principled way. But from my perspective, and again, there are two sides of this story, and the person that I most admire on this topic is Joe Dallas, and I happen to have a different opinion than he does in general on this opinion. I don't see any moral problem with you being a photographer. The fact that you're taking pictures does not mean that you are lending credence to the wedding, but it does give you an opportunity to be a witness within that context. And that's what we are called to be. I mean, Jesus ate with publicans and sinners. He did not reject them. He ate with them, and many of them were impacted because Christ was willing to enter into their environments, and the very fact that he did had an incredible impact on the people themselves. I think the name just pops into my head, but Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus encountered Christ, and he was radically transformed. It was not just transformed by what he said, but transformed by what he actually did. He became a participant in the kingdom. So I think that you are a representative of Jesus Christ. I don't think that in any way you should lend credence to that which hurts people and harms people. But I do think that we want to be there so that we can reach, and that we should never be in a position of repelling. So I myself would not have any problem with you being a photographer for a gay wedding. I would have a problem for you lending credence to this particular paradigm. I mean, as a follower of Jesus Christ, one of the most basic principles that we adhere to, understand, and follow is that marriage is between a man and a woman. Even Obama was championing that cause up until later on in his administration. He did a flip-flop, but the fact of the matter is he based that on principles which he felt to be self-evident for civilization, and I think those principles are self-evident. So we don't need to acquiesce to that which hurts people, but on the other hand, we don't want to repel, we want to reach.